guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Jabi, and today I actually wanted to talk about Jessica O. Matthews. Oh my goodness, I am so obsessed with her. I've watched every video of her that I can find, and some of them I'm just like it's like a story I don't want it to end. So some of the videos I find, I just save the links and I'm just like, okay, I need this to hold me. Okay, so basically I was online one day. I love watching videos from Forbes and stuff like that, and I came across this video of Jessica, and she was talking at, it was an Aspen Institute video. So I'm watching it. I'm gonna link that below. So she's talking about her life, etc, etc, and then she talks about, you know, her company and everything. Basically they're using kinetic energy through the movement of kids kicking a ball, that basically charges it up, and then they put something else in it and then it lights up. I swear to you, when that child did that, I was just crying for days. So I literally cried my eyes out after I watched this, because I'm just thinking, what have you been doing with your life? Like, do you understand what I mean? And she just represents everything I've ever wanted in my 20s that I thought was never possible, because I guess, you know, background, perspective, whatever. Anyway, basically it's history. The high school that she came from, she's one of 4 people who ever went to Harvard, and one of the other ones were like, it was her sister. I was just like, wow. It actually reminds me of my own story, because of the fact that I was terrified of my school growing up, because it seems like everyone had the same kind of like life path. You go to school, after that you work, then you get married, then you have a family. Like, oh my goodness, that scared me. So then she says that while she was there, she was actually there to study economics and psychology. That's also another one that just blew me out of the water, because she went there for something else, but literally blasted out in another direction. So she went there for economics and psychology. While she was there was a course where they asked them to come up with an idea involving science and art. And she said she's not a scientist, she's also not an artist. So it was kind of like, but they would give you money in order to come up with whatever innovative thing you could do to solve an urgent problem using science and art. You know what? I think that's actually another thing that made me cry, is that when I was in varsity, there was no looking to the sides, because there wasn't an opportunity like this. I feel like, if, for example, it would be great if universities would invite a lot of creators and a lot of people in alternative careers that will use students in order for them to come up with great ideas, or run surveys or whatever, which I guess surveys were there, but I feel like the only thing I can remember from varsity is literally flash mobs. That was insane to me. But to be honest, with the F1 program that I was on, there were some things that we got exposed to, but they were mostly you know, human contact type of relations, and not really coming up with ideas and stuff. And do you know what, looking back, I wish that I asked my group to take me to such classes, but that's the power of knowledge. I didn't know that such things were available. So I ended up going to accounting classes, because that is what I had enrolled for at the university where I was at. Like, that's the dumbest thing. Doesn't matter. Anyway, so she said that she literally taught herself like the basics of mechanical and electrical engineering. I feel like throughout this entire video, the takeaways I had were: number one, we need innovators, founders, CEOs, especially of startups. They need to start doing more presentations. Maybe they're doing it in Johannesburg or whatever, I don't know. But where in my university, nobody came and was like, this is who I am and this is what I've done. Can you imagine the lives that could have been changed? Because We come from smaller towns only knowing the things that we are allowed to know. Is it our fault that we don't go and explore ourselves? Maybe. But literally, it's like trying to find a light switch in the dark if you are not aware that there are things that actually exist. So I think the biggest wish I have was that universities would invite speakers like this that would come and talk to first year, second year learners about the ins and outs of business. That needs to be a requirement. It would be great if it's done at high schools, but that's too much in terms of how many high schools are actually in South Africa. Because I feel like, for example, if let's say someone starts an online shop, I feel like that person should give back in terms of going to institutions and educating other people about how to start and run an online business. People can start doing that at varsity level, but they struggle because they don't know where to get the info except what you can find on Google, which is all American based. It would be great if it's someone local. Then the second thing I noticed that she said was that she used her own background. Like, I feel like that's how we need to start looking at certain projects. Yes, everyone wants to make money, but at the end of the day, I feel like we're here to improve each other. So we need to look into our own backyards, literally, and instead of splashing money at something, look at pressing need that's there and ask yourself, how can I solve this particular need? So, for example, if I'm looking at myself, this thing with the pollution is a really a big deal to me. So I really need a pressing, innovative idea to combat that because I feel like if I can do it in my own backyard, we can spread this thing nationwide and literally save our future kids. Another thing that I also see is that I don't think that the government is going to come up with an idea on how to move classes more digitally, especially for kids in the rural areas. I feel like it's just a gigantic problem with no solutions. And this pandemic should teach us that we have a real and pressing problem. And I'm afraid that when it has passed, like the people in charge are gonna be like, phew, that was a close one, and move on. And literally next time it happens, the same problems will occur. So that bothers me, but okay. Another thing that she said was, I guess the whole thing of her going as far as Google and stuff like that and building her prototype and designing etc also shows her resilience, like in terms of going to this field where you know nothing, but at the end of the day you're doing everything you can to accumulate the knowledge. It makes me kind of feel like I kind of ask her in terms of how many people were involved in this process, because here it can be so daunting to start a project like this because literally I don't think there are people around you that are just willing to help, that have no hidden agenda, and that's not what we need in terms of starting businesses, being innovative, cultivating ideas. You need to work in a culture that allows you to have those ideas and to actually move your business forward. And then another thing that I feel like was super, super inspiring is that she said she was 28. That's young to be running such a powerful, powerful company. And the thing that scared me the most was the fact that, not scary in a bad way, that scared me the most was how they are pushing the idea forward. I mean, they use the soccer ball to channel the energy in order to charge up the light bulb. But then they found communities where girls are not allowed to play soccer. So they just use their technology in a jump rope. How amazing is that? And then now they are literally expanding their product line. They're putting it in supermarket trolleys. They are putting it in luggage bags, the wheel part of it, because it's constantly moving. They're putting it in skateboards. They're putting it in those carts that kids play with. They're putting it in baby strollers. Like, that is energy that's being used that is currently being wasted. And she's using all of that to generate power and working with all these major companies in order to push her product forward. I was just like, what? What? Like, I was just so inspired. Like, I wish I can share it with everybody. That's basically why I'm making this video, because I just want to share it everywhere. And we all, as Black women, should be inspired by this chick. Like, she's a freaking powerhouse. And I feel like by the time she's 35, it's gonna be like, what? You know? So like I just can't. I love her. Like I love her. Yes, I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you wanna see more videos like this, please let me know in the comment section. And don't forget to hit the like button. And don't forget to subscribe. Alright guys, I'll see you in my next one. Bye.